What's going on, Jerome's? The Minnesota Fighting Vikings are back at TCO Performance Center Bar and Grill to start their offseason workout program. Patrick Peterson, P squared, he is back. He is beautiful. I love him. Veteran leader of the Vikings defense is back for year two for the Vikings, hopefully in a revamped and rebuilt defense. And he talked to the media jackals on Monday. Here's what he had to say. Patrick Peterson, by the way, the haircut, looking amazing, man. I can't pull it off, but the new haircut that a lot of people have nowadays, where it's longer on top but shaved on the sides, I can't do it. I can't do many haircuts, but it is what it is. But Patrick Peterson, on return to the Vikings, quote, "I feel like we've got a good thing going, but we needed to be led in a new direction," end quote. So now, one of the big selling points for Peterson coming to the Vikings last offseason was Mike Zimmer. Zimmer, defense coordinator, DB guru, but Patrick Peterson, he's a veteran. He's been around. Like, he understands that this is a talented roster, but yeah, sometimes a change in leadership is needed, hence why the Vikings did retain the bulk of the roster from last year and why Patrick Peterson returned at half the salary. 1 year, $4 million, a couple incentives there. So it's good to have Peterson back in the building. Next up, so the Vikings account put out that Adofo was the last coach to put P squared through a workout in the pre-draft process in 2011. Now the two are finally connected in Minnesota. Peterson said, quote, "I just seem like a very genuine person, and it's hard not to want to be around those type of people," end quote. And Adofo was the Niners DB coach back in 2011. By the way, Vic Fangio, defense coordinator for the Niners. Jim Harbaugh was the head coach of the Niners at the time, before Kwesi's time. And then the Niners had the number 7 overall selection in the 2011 draft. The Vikings had 12. Guess who we picked? Nah. And the Cardinals had 5, and then they took Patrick Peterson, future Hall of Famer. So it was close. I mean, Niners at 7. He got selected by division rival at 5, and maybe he would have slid down to 7. The Niners ultimately took Aldon Smith, so it's whatever there. But it's kind of cool, man. Like, if you're a DB coach and your team has a high draft pick in the top 10, and you're just dreaming of having that cornerstone franchise cornerback, which Patrick Peterson has been throughout his career, but now get to work together. And yeah, a little bit of tread left on the tire. Certainly not that set it and forget a guy from back in the day, but Patrick Peterson certainly does have some skill left. Will Raggets, Patrick Peterson. We all know that Zadarius Smith can bring what Zadarius Smith can bring to the table, and he had a great stint with that other team across the water. He's already got the vernacular down. I love it. And yeah, Zadarius, you could tell he was fired up, man. Like we said yesterday, he was the only Viking that we saw that showed up in Vikings gear. He's fired up, ready to go. I think that he will be a leader on this defense. I think that he is motivated to show that his back is fully healed. And I think that if him and Daniil can stay healthy, I think they're easily the best edge rushing duo in the National Football League. And things get a lot easier. We can rush the passer, man. Consistently getting pressure on the quarterback as well as being able to stop the run just makes everything a lot easier on the back end. And Zadarius, hopefully he can resume being one of the best edge rushers in the National Football League. And then lastly, Chad Graff, go. Patrick Peterson announced performance last season. It's hard to get in a groove when you're getting 2 targets a game, so hopefully this year I get more targets. Will Raggets, is it a compliment to not be heavily targeted? Peterson, it is, but Pro Football Focus doesn't think so. Yeah, so P squared didn't have a great PFF grade last season, but whatever. It is what it is. And Patrick Peterson, part of it was reputation, even though his last 2 years in Arizona, he was certainly targeted and things did not go well. But part of it was reputation, the way that the Vikings used him smartly last season. Respect to Zimmer, respect to Patrick Peterson. Instead of having him travel, they had him play sides. They gave him plenty of safety help. But it also could be the rest of the Vikings cornerback room was very easily targeted. Like Bashaud Breeland, not so much. Mac Alexander, certainly not so much. As well as Cameron Dantzler, Chris Boyd when they got out there, and not so much as well. But Patrick Peterson, hopefully he's going to be bouncing back. Last year was actually the first time he's ever missed games due to injury with that hamstring. So hopefully that's good to go, and he's ready to rock and roll. Because I think as of right now, you can safely pencil Patrick Peterson in as a starter, and especially if and when the Vikings do spend a high draft pick on a rookie cornerback, whether it's Sauce Gardner, whether it's Derek Stingley, whether it's McCreary or McDuffie or Booth or whatever, Patrick Peterson is going to continue on with that leadership, that mentor role for the young cornerback room, and hopefully Cameron Dantzler can rise up in year 3 as well. Sean Sullivan coming over, Harrison Hand, Chris Boyd, etc. So yeah, every part of the defense got better this offseason, and hopefully the cornerback room can continue to grow, especially if there's a talent infusion in the draft. I think Patrick Peterson is great that it's great that he's going to be leading that charge. But your thoughts are thoughts. Patrick Peterson spoke to the media jackals on Monday. Our thoughts. Let us know your thoughts on our thoughts on his thoughts. Nailed it. In the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.